Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and it is finally Saturday. So, welcome to the weekend. Happy Saturday, everybody. And today we are doing another Mako Tsunami build because, again, I got Mako Tsunami on the brain. We're going to keep going with the Bountiful Ocean skill. This is kind of like my favorite generic skill whenever we're going to be playing big water monsters. So, the way that this works is while Umi is face up on the field, apply the following. First effect, we're not going to be bothered with this one, but non-effect water monsters you control would be unaffected by non-water monster effects. We are after the second ability. Once per turn, you can add one water monster from the graveyard to your hand, but for the rest of the turn, you cannot activate cards or effects until you normal summon that card or a card with the same name. And we're going to kind of juggle something, so keep that in mind. That's where we're going with our skill. And again, I want to be playing like Legendary Ocean Fisherman. So knowing that that's going to be coming up, we got 3 Legendary Fishermen, the OG. While Umi's on the field, this guy's also unaffected by spell effects and cannot be targeted by or for attacks. However, he does not block us from getting hit directly. A little give and take on this one. But as you guys know, once we get the Legendary Ocean, this is going to be a 4-star monster, similar to how we played this last time. Next up, we need to be playing 3 copies of the new Legendary Fisherman 2. A little more powerful, okay? This one's going to start, again, 4 or 5 stars, depending on whether or not you have the Legendary Ocean already boarded, and there's no reason you shouldn't. This card's name becomes Legendary Fisherman while it's on the field or in the graveyard. While Umi's on the field, this card is unaffected by other monsters' effects, which is great. Plus, we're going to get the generic power bonus. This guy's going to go up to 24. If this face-up card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, while its owner controls it, we can add a level 7 water monster from our deck to our hand. A little more on that here in a second. I do need to show off that, yes, we are running the 3 copies Warrior of Atlantis, who, of course, has the effect. We can discard this from our hand to add Legendary Ocean to our hand. And as you remember, Legendary Ocean is always considered to be Umi. When it's in play, deck building, all of it, which means, essentially, we're going to be playing 6 copies between the Field Spell and the Searcher. But the Searcher is able to be summoned. We could call the Searcher back with the Bountiful Ocean skill card. And then we can either hold it for a turn because we don't need to summon anything or activate anything. And wait out the negative effect. And then on the next turn, we could pitch it and get another copy of Ocean if we wanted to. Or we could summon it immediately, have another 2100 point Aqua monster on our side of the field. But there's a reason why we would be so interested in juggling him. Remember, we could juggle these guys too. But I have a special little trick for you guys here. And this is something my old buddy AJ would have loved. Because this was like his favorite monster back in the day. We're going to be playing 1 copy Leviathan Dragon Daedalus. So, couple of things. Daedalus is a 7-star card. The way Ocean works is it does not affect the star levels in my deck. So, because it doesn't affect the levels in my deck, just in my hand, my field, and maybe the graveyard, but no, just hand and field. This means that the Legendary Fisherman 2's effect allows us to search out Daedalus. Then once it's in our hand, we knock him down to a single tribute. This is very, very helpful. But the reason we're using this guy is because he is explosive, and I mean that literally. This card can send a face-up copy of Umi that you control to the graveyard and destroy every other card on the field. So, there is a big bunch of benefits to playing the 3 Warriors of Atlantis with the 3 Legendary Oceans, with the Bountiful Ocean, which will allow us to cycle back, as well as these boys and these 3 making this monster just a searchable treat. Means that we can tribute a single tribute for a 2,800 point, just amazing Sea Serpent. And this is the kind of stuff I was talking about. Like, this is how much fun you guys could be having. And then the rest of the deck is just tech from there. You know, 2 Books of Moon because it's standard for me. 1 Cosmic Cyclone because it's standard for me. I honestly thought about upping this to 3 Books of Moon and making it 3 Night Beams. And I know somebody out there is going to go, but Night Beam's not as good as you think, casual. Well, let me give you a scenario. You're right. Um, if I go ahead and I use a Night Beam, right? You flipping the card isn't going to stop destruction. It just means I had to target the card that was down, right? So let's say I targeted your copy of Birthright, and for some reason you decided you were going to activate another card. So this way, this is then link 2, and then you can go ahead and activate that in response to this other card, not in response to the Night Beam. And you think you're being cute and clever. You do realize you just activated 2 cards, right? So, like, I didn't just get to destroy the card I wanted to get. Like, there's a chance that you are going to, of course, get off some really cool effects. I'm not going to take that away from you. But generally, when I'm playing Night Beam, I'm just trying to get your cards off the field before I do something else. So, if you go ahead and you want to double activate, by all means, please do it. Um, it's not as good as you think it is, because then you only have a possible 3 cards in your back row, and to spite me, you flipped a second one. Unless it actually promotes your game state, chances are you're just going to let it go. And then the question is, like, what if I went after something that was conditional? Like, a lot of the traps that are being played right now are conditional traps. This isn't like GOAT format where the best things were like Dust Tornado, Geki Break, and what was that other one? Phoenix Wing Wind, whatever. Stuff like that where you could just like respond and use it at any point in time. Not everything in Speed Duel's like that. I can absolutely wreck your Widespread Ruin. And if you want to activate another card because whatever, go for it. There's no attack right then. So the argument for and against Night Beam is kind of moot. I'm going to give you guys that. But you guys have to give me my point of that argument too. It's actually really good. Sorry for the little baby tangent there. Last 2 cards. 2 copies of Lost Wind. And again, it's one of those things like once your opponent starts special summoning, yeah, they're going to get bigger than your fishermen. So go ahead, get the wind. Take away the effect. Take away half their stats. And then remember, it's like 2050. It's like 2400, 2100, 2800. Like, we're doing some numbers here. But this is your 20-card main deck for some legendary fisherman fun, playing Bountiful Ocean. Guys, quickly, or not so quickly, pause, take some notes, screenshot, screen cap, whatever you guys got to do. I'm going to be back with the extra inside decks. So just one moment. And just real quick, we are going to start with the side deck. So I do have a copy of Hammer Shot. I did skip going into any monsters. I did think about Dogger in here for a minute, but like giving my opponent a 3K is just not as good as doing anything else. So I'm going to go with the Hammer Shot this time, just in case. I'm also going to back it up with an Offering Instead of Doomed, because again, once I've got a board set up and we're using Bountiful Ocean, technically I'm recycling cards. I don't really need to draw. And again, it's a one-off. Again, I'm not worried about what's going to happen if Jinzo hits. Well, okay, cool. I can do that. I could book. I could just outright beat him on a couple of those stats. It's fine. But yeah, it does make me not want to play Zoma as much. Additionally, I run 4 traps in here. We're going to be having the 2 Mind Crushes because, again, I feel like we're mid-meta. We're going to get in between the 2 box releases here soon. We're almost at the midpoint. And once you're at the midpoint of any meta, unless we get a sneak ban list here sometime soon, decks are getting really predictable again, which means Mind Crush just does more work. And then, of course, 2 Waking the Dragon. This is interesting this time because, number one, I can use my extra deck, and I have it. And I'll lay it down as I'm talking. But this is actually a really cool way to maybe even just power out your Leviadragon. Because again, Leviadragon, he's pretty big as far as the main deck monster. but you do have options that will search him. So it is still worth it. You guys could decide between playing something out of the extra deck, and these guys are all summonable through the Waking the Dragon trap card. I guarantee, because this happens like once a week, this will be the video this week. Somebody's not going to watch the video. What they're going to do is they're going to click and they're going to drag and they're going to see all the quick little frames. They're going to drag it back and forth a couple of times. And what they're going to do is they're going to go, I don't understand how you play the extra deck. The answer's right there. Watch. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't happen. But it is still a relatively almost like every 3 or 4 videos I get the question. And then afterward they go, oh yeah, they did play that during Layer of Darkness when it debuted. People were using Lilith to play Waking the Dragon in 2 Torrentials and make the opponent play a head game. And then suddenly they remember the trap card. But it shines more in Speed Duel than it's ever shined anywhere else. It was just a really cool like trick trap way back in the day. And I've sort of latched onto it because it means my extra deck is always a threat. So guys, this is the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed everything this week. Hopefully you enjoyed this deck the most. I'm just saying that because it's today's deck. So I do want to thank everybody for stopping by. I do want to thank that Duelist. Duelist 1 for giving us a request on like the Mighty Minis deck from the beginning of the week. And also the locals winning Vampire Red Eyes hybrid with extra zombie beat stick, because that was really cool. That was very inventive is what that was. And I do have a Red Eyes build for you guys this next week. I'm thinking about building another water deck, but I think I'm gonna put a God card in it. I think you guys are gonna get a new obelisk build, if that's okay with y'all. And I don't know. We'll see if anybody has any requests. I got a couple of things I've been working on. Somebody asked me about domains. I'm still working on that because, believe it or not, it's a little trickier than I thought it was. I thought I was just gonna hit a list real quick, and it's such an interesting idea. I got to take my time with it. I want to do it. I want to do it right. So for now, my friends, you guys have a wonderful day. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Speed Duel Spotlight. And we'll decide what the Monday deck is going to be soon. And you guys have a wonderful day, all right? See you later.